Bourbon? Scotch? Hi everyone, my name is Becca Sam. Today we're going to speak about bourbon versus scotch. But first, we start with whiskey. What is whiskey? Whiskey is any distilled alcoholic beverage made from fermented grain mash and aged in wooden casks. Bourbon and scotch are two different spirits, but both technically fall under the whiskey label. Now, if we take cognac as an example, French people say, si cognac était un brandy, tout brandy n'est pas un cognac, t'es fou quoi, vous comprenez? Mais c'est quoi ça? C'est pas cognac, du tout. Okay, all cognac is brandy, but not all brandy is cognac. Understood. And same for bourbon and scotch. All bourbon is whiskey, but not all whiskey is bourbon. And all scotch is whiskey, but not all whiskey is scotch. Now let's see the difference between the two whiskeys. Country of origin. Bourbon has to be made in USA, and scotch has to be made in Scotch has to be made in Scotland. Very hard to remember that. Scotch, Scotland. The base. Bourbon has to be made of at least 51% corn, and Scotch has to be made of malted barley. ABV requirement. Bourbon distilled to no higher than 80% ABV and entered into the barrels no higher than 62.5 ABV. And Scotch must be distilled at an alcoholic strength of less than 94.8% ABV and bottled at minimum alcoholic strength of 40% ABV. Aging process. Bourbon has to be aged in new charred oak barrels. Scotch is aged in used oak barrels. About flavors, let's watch these two videos.
Run your fingers through my hair. I want you to touch me there, but I will not open up my thighs when you've got bourbon in your eyes. You're the one who makes me smile, and I know you'd make it worth my while. But she's waiting for you, and I think she cries when you've got bourbon in your eyes.
Yes, smooth, sexy, sweet, vanilla, caramel, brown sugar, and smoky flavor due to the charred oak. Just perfect.
Pour whiskey on my grave, let it seep into my bones. Have a drink with me, even when I'm gone. I'll do the same for you, if you'll do the same for me. Turn it up and take a shot, set my spirit free. Don't forget the promise that you made. Pour whiskey on my grave.
Yes, it's complex, full body, rubber, creamy, wood, peat, grass. Just perfect. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time.